I'm gonna be making a one of my masks. I use it as a pandemic slash walking around everywhere mask. Um, I guess really a pandemic mask is just kind of the excuse as to for me to be able to just wear a mask everywhere I go. But this is this mask that I made here is kind of an older version. Kind of made it a while back. I used plastic lacing, and for this one, I drilled holes and then sewed it along here and along there. You can kind of see the string. I didn't do such a great job cutting this evenly, but still served a purpose. So I want to make something similar to this now, but I kind of wanted to go be a little more drastic because I made 3 of these different versions of them. Um, and they're all kind of half-faced like this, so I kind of want to do something different. Um, so what we're gonna need is one of these blank masks. I got a zipper. I already opened the package, but this is big zipper like this, and then one of these thimble. I think that's what it's called. Protects your finger, I guess, to push a needle through. Of course, some scissors, and then one of these pandemic masks. Because again, I'm going to be making this mask so I can wear it around everywhere. So you might as well kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So what I'm kind of envisioning, I just kicked the bottom of my table, is I'm going to cut this one. It's going to be half faced this way, but this, I'm not going to just take a portion out of this. I'm going to use the entire face because I want to, so we're going to cut, I'm going to cut like around there and get the top of it off. But then I want to put a zipper mouth on it. And so I want to kind of do something like this where the zipper kind of is the smile. And then I'm going to, I'll probably leave it unzipped somewhat. And then here, the zipper will open up. And so this part of the mask will come as one. The bottom part will be the other. And so it'll just kind of look like that. And then in here where there's going to be this opening, that is where you'll see the inside of the mask there. And obviously the mask will just be sewn inside here. And then once I get it all sewn how it's supposed to be, or lined up so it's like neat in there, then I'll cut this off as I did on the other one. So it kind of fits my face a little bit better. And so that's the plan. Let's see how it all works out. But first and foremost, let's cut this mask up. I only have one of these, so I can't really mess it up too much because otherwise I'm gonna have to run to the store and find more. Let's do this plastic right here is pretty hard, and so I'm afraid that if I try to cut this way, it could split the mask. So this part over here is thinner, so I'm gonna make a cut like this and then come on the opposite side and make a cut like that, and then afterwards I'll clip the point off that ends up right there. So we have it kind of cut. I think I might sand this down a little bit with like sandpaper, or maybe take a razor blade, because I don't know that I can keep trimming with the scissors. This little part of this plastic is kind of hard, and it's kind of a little uneven. But other than that, it's looking pretty good. Just don't. This is bothering me that this mask for whatever reason isn't even there to there. I'm like getting little pieces of the mask everywhere. Okay, so now the next thing is to cut this part. I'm going to cut the opening up so it makes this opening like this. So that I have a fairly large opening here. I want it to be fairly significant and very noticeable. And so I'll probably cut the big triangle out there, and then I'm going to cut the lips off and the lip off down here. And then because this is going to be sewn on the inside, and then I'm just going to follow a small line, so about like that. So when I get to here, I really have to pay attention to how I'm cutting here, because I do want it to, it'll probably be about right there. I don't want to go all the way through the mask, so I just want to cut a rectangle out. So a rectangle section out that comes like this, cut the lips off, come down, cut the lips off, and then when I come to here, it's just gonna flare out like that. So that is what I just worry about when I get to here, because I really don't want to, I just want to show where the zipper starts, but I don't want to go all the way through. So cutting the lips is going to be probably fairly difficult. I don't know if I'll be able to do it with scissors. I might have to do it with a razor blade and just keep trimming until I have cut the lips completely off. But yeah, we'll see about that in a sec. Oh no, I broke it off. That's what I was afraid of. So it kind of broke off this way. Let me see if I can salvage it, but I'm already somewhat discouraged with this, and I kind of want to go get another one. Oh man. Just trying to cut like that, it's just not happening. Let me see what it looks like. Maybe I can take more of it off. So I don't know, there's a tiny little crack now. Maybe what I can do is put some super glue down in there to keep it from splitting. It's not noticeable. I see it, but it's because I know exactly where it went. So let me see if I can repair that, or like at least keep that from splitting. Okay, so I've gone ahead and cut the mouth off the mask. I might have cut too much off the bottom lip, well, the top lip I mean. The bottom lip probably needs a little bit of shaping too. But I feel that once the zipper goes in, the zipper's gonna go like so. I feel the zipper can become the lips of it. I don't know, we'll see how it looks. Hopefully it doesn't look dumb. But that's essentially also how the zipper's gonna end up going, where it splits here at the bottom. And then I'm going to need white thread. I was originally gonna do black thread, but I don't know that I want little black dots all over where the zipper is stitched to the mouth. So I'm gonna use this and see how that turns out. It's not going to be a consistent threading pattern. It's just gonna be the thread goes underneath, comes up, goes back down, and then, you know, goes like a small section, comes back up, goes back down. So the bigger passes are gonna be underneath here. You won't really see, you only see like a dot come up and back and forth on all the way through till the very end there. So once I do that, then I can get the mask sewn on there. And for the mask, I will be using the black thread. I thought I was recording this entire time, and it turns out I was not. I've actually made quite a bit of progress. I'm all the way down to here on the top row, but I can quickly show you kind of what I'm doing. So right now the thread's underneath. I pushed through to see where I need to. The zipper gets stuck right here. There we go. To see where I need to come in from the bottom up, I've been making the holes from the top, so I'm continuously making the holes on the top side. It's just much easier to see, and I feel it's just, I don't want to run a hole from the bottom in a way that I wasn't supposed to come through and then end up with a bunch of little pinholes everywhere. So it's just better to kind of do this from the top. And so I just decide where it's gonna go. And then I push, let's say like right here. And I push through. Once I push through, then I go through the bottom and then I run the needle back up. And then we push the needle all the way up. The reason I use this is because it's just impossible to push this needle through without it. If I tried to push this with my fingers, the needle would just go into my fingers somehow, and I can't get enough grip to just go like that and push through this way. So this is kind of how I've been doing it, and it's pretty effective. This needle has gotten pretty bent though, so I don't know how much longer it's going to last before I have to switch to another one. Hopefully if it does by any chance break, it doesn't break and go into one of my other fingers. That would be really terrible, but I've never had that happen, so hopefully it doesn't. Today's not one of those days where it does occur. As I'm kind of looking at it right now, I don't know if this is enough to give the mask the drastic look that I'm kind of going for. So I have to kind of see what it'll all look like once it's all done first before I can determine if there's anything else that I would like to do to it. I went ahead and trimmed off the excess. And so it looks pretty okay. The one thing that I'm a little bit kind of disappointed in myself on is that I trimmed too much of the lips off. I definitely shouldn't have cut this much of the lips off. But now I know if I was to make a second version of this, I'll definitely be a little more aware of how much I'm removing. And I felt like the mask still needed something. I couldn't figure out what else it needed. And so I thought about getting the plastic lacing and doing some stitching across the side here where the opening is the biggest. I wanted to find white lacing. I couldn't find any. I actually couldn't even find any more black lacing at any of the stores I checked. And so that kind of went out the window. So then I thought maybe I could probably put upside down X's here. Upside down crosses. And so that's what I'm going to end up doing shortly, is I'll put an upside down cross on each eye. And then after that, it's just a matter of sewing the cloth mask on and then removing the excess down here. Okay, so I got my drill and a drill bit that's just a little bit, it's just a tiny bit smaller than the plastic lace. I want it to really like squeeze through there. I don't want to have extra space in the holes that I make. So I feel like this is pretty good. So I don't want them to be exactly perfect, so I'm not really going to measure. I just kind of want them to be I don't want them to be extremely uneven, but I also don't want them to be exactly like alike. So that's what I'm gonna just eyeball it and then just start making the hole. Definitely watch your hands when you're doing this, or your fingers. So there's one, and I think that if I just put this like, I'm unsure as to how big I want this to be. So let's check something out here. So probably like right there would be good. Okay, I think I'm happy with with that first side. So same concept on this other side. One thing I don't want is I don't want the crosses facing like this way. I don't want them, I don't know how to do this, like that, where this one's coming this way and this one's coming, actually that's what I do want. Is that what I want? I don't want them going like, I don't want them going like this. That's what I do not want. So I want them just, at worst, they can go like that, but I don't want them coming into the nose. And so, so that's kind of what I'm trying to eyeball here as I'm doing this. And that was pretty sketchy because my fingers are like right behind there. So I don't advise you do it this way. If anything, I'm just kind of doing it this way so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Losing a finger for YouTube. Okay, so I got a couple pieces cut. What I'm gonna do is just to get them to get stuck through there once I feed them through the first hole that I want them to go through. I'm going to just burn the ends off, and that's pretty hot. Just kind of trying to make a knot type thing. Okay, that should suffice. So there is that part, and I'm gonna feed it closer to the part by the nose. That way the cross comes this way. If I feed it closer to this side, then the cross can potentially go like that, and that's not what I want. I want it to go away from the eyes. So I mean away from the nose. Sometimes it helps to cut these in angles too. I cut this straight, and that's why I'm kind of having difficulty. But if you come into a point like that, then they're easier to feed. Okay, once you have it like that, I got the crosses done, and then now it's just a matter of getting the mask put on. So I'm thinking I might let some of this white part stick out, and then here kind of come down a little bit like this. I usually have to cutting these corners off because the masks usually hit about like that. So kind of sit about that right there. So it's just a matter of lining this up, and then I'm going to stitch it in the same manner as I did the mouth there. Ignore that crease right there. I dropped it on the floor, and moving my chair around, the wheel of the chair came and got it right there. And unfortunately, once you crease anything that's done on these masks, once you crease it, the crease is pretty permanent. You can pop the dent back out, but you know the crease is going to remain. So still, it's not the worst thing ever. I'm not the most happy with the lips anyway, so I'll probably end up making a second version of this, but for now I do still like it anyway. I think it's come out pretty well. So it's just a matter of as mentioned, it's just a matter of getting this stuck, not stuck on, sewed on. And so for that, I've already somewhat explained how to do the sewing of the zipper. So it's going to be the same concept. So, but for this one, I will be using black thread. So once I get that done, I'll just come back and show you, and I'll kind of show you how I ended up sticking it. But it's pretty self-explanatory. You kind of want it to go in the center, so you're following this crease line here, and you're just kind of putting it there. In this particular situation, I'll have to, because it's split right here, I'll have to make sure I sew like the corner down, and also along the edging here. Okay, so I just put in the last stitch at the bottom, right here on the chin, where you see the black, basically little lines. That's where I've stitched it. Unlike my other ones, I didn't really do a lot of stitching down here to keep this in place or anything like that. I'm a little concerned with trying to get sufficient oxygen through here because it is plastic. My other ones are cut in half for a reason. The reason is because most of the oxygen comes in through the cloth part. That's also the reason for this opening that I made here, to see if I can probably get, just because, you know, those two little holes right there, that's not gonna be enough oxygen to bring in, and I can breathe through the zipper as well, but just to make sure that, you know, I'm not suffocating because of the mask that I'm wearing. So so yeah, once I get this I still have the needle hanging. Once I get that tied up, then it's just a matter of cutting under here, and basically the mask is done. So I just kind of wanted to explain the whole breathing thing for a second and why I'm leaving it so loose. Obviously, if it started to come loose from the fact that there's not very many stitching areas stitched, then I would just look back into it and probably add more. It is stitched right here where the zipper is at, and so, but just along here or whatnot, I want it to be able to, you know, that way the mask has some give when breathing in and out. So yeah, let me cut it, and then I'll just show you once the piece is all complete.